Today we're going to take a look at In Death Unchained on the Quest 2. I've been wanting to talk about this game for a while now, as it's one of my go-to games for shorter play sessions, and I don't think it's brought up very often. But before we get into it, if you could just do me a solid and hit that like button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Here we go. In Death Unchained is a quest game where you're an archer set in a medieval Dungeons & Dragons style world. It's actually the quest version of the PC VR game In Death. Now, one of the best features of In Death Unchained is that the game has procedurally generated maps, meaning the level and enemy placement are different every time you play. The game also has a really neat way of staying fresh by adding new enemy types as you hit milestones, like kill X number of knights, etc. This is a great approach to a game like this, as it's always evolving, with the difficulty slowly increasing over many play sessions. The graphics are decent for a quest game. They went with a more realistic art style, and considering the limitations of the Quest headset, I think they did a really good job here. The gameplay is also very smooth. Drawing back the bow and releasing feels very natural, as does the arrow's flight. This adds to the immersion, as everything gels into a very fluid and cohesive experience, and landing a sick long-distance shot also feels amazing. The game also has a unique movement mechanic, using a mix of both teleporting and free movement. You can fire a teleport arrow to immediately travel to any area, and also free move slowly using the thumbstick. This should be great news for anyone who gets motion sick in VR. Now, usually I'm not a fan of teleporting in games, but the way In Death Unchained uses this arrow movement, it works great, and it allows you to jump over large spaces or get into hard-to-reach areas. This also speeds up the game and gets you right into the action, while also allowing slow free movement when you want. For what seems like a pretty straightforward game, there's a lot of variety here. There's special ammo that you can find along your journey, like fire or exploding arrows, and even portals that you can enter mid-game that take you to a dungeon full of new enemies like skeletons and flying demons. There's also a few completely separate game modes that were added on through updates, like Desolation, which is a more difficult world with not only different enemy types but also more of them, and Siege of Heaven, which is a game mode where you have to stop waves of enemies from getting to a portal. Sort of like a tower defense game if you were the tower. This mode also has a few different maps to play on. Coming in at $30 US, this game might seem a bit overpriced at first, but the value is there for sure. With the procedurally generated maps and evolving difficulty using milestones to introduce new enemies, this game has been my go-to for quick play sessions for quite a while now. It's super easy to hop in and play, and with every play session you're getting closer to a new milestone, which can change the game indefinitely. I definitely recommend checking this one out, especially if you're into the whole D&D theme that's going on here. So that's all I got for In Death Unchained. I really just wanted to shed a little light on this game because I think it's a hidden gem on the Quest headset, and I don't see many people talking about it. If you enjoyed this video, do me a solid and just hit that like button. It's a free way that you can support the channel. It really helps me out. You can support the channel even more by leaving a comment. Let me know if you played this game and what you think of the procedurally generated maps. Definitely something really interesting that I like about this game. Don't forget to subscribe for more VR content. I'll always try to give the best rundown on games that I can without wasting a half an hour of your time. And if you like this video, check out my review of Pistol Whip, popping up on your screen right now.